How does it feel to have lived long enough to see all of your favorite franchises go down in flames?
Feels great.
Oh my god, they fucking did. Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about episode 8 of the Halo television series, and boy, what a ride episode 8 was. I can't wait to discuss this one. I had a blast watching it, as you can see in the intro. Just an overall great time.
Oh, well, that was wonderful. Good time was had by all. I'm pooped.
You know what? I woke up to some messages from some people saying like, oh, this is a kind of crazy episode. So I was like, you know what? Let me record my reaction to it. And you know what? I'm really happy that I did. I'm really happy that I did, because this is something that I think quite a few of us joked about in like episode 2 and 3. We're like, oh, imagine if this happened. Oh, imagine if, that'd be hilarious, wouldn't it? In a parallel universe. Well, my friends, we are in that parallel universe. It happened. This is the episode where Master Chief has sex with the Covenant girl. Yep, that's the point we're at with this now. That's the point we're at. So, a good portion of this episode was basically Chief and Marquis. They kind of went on like a semi-date at the start of it. He's basically trying to get her to come with him to find the other artifact and get it back from the Covenant. They take a walk through Reach City on Reach. Wait, real quick, did that say Reach City? Hey, Reach City. England is my city! And they talk about stuff, and all the while Halsey and her lab assistant, what's his name, Aiden, and Cortana are monitoring them. And Cortana does make a cool quote. She says, there's 2 of us in his head now, remember? Obviously a reference to Halo CE and Halo 2, and the many times that she said that in the original trilogy. But one weird thing about this whole thing, we seem to be kind of like forgetting and glossing over the fact that this Aiden dude in, what, episode 2 or 3, tried to get it on with an incapacitated Flash clone. Like, that was bad, and we seem to have just kind of glossed over that now. Like, we've just kind of forgotten that ever happened, which I think's a little bit strange. But, yeah. I will say, Parangoski I did like in this episode. She accuses Chief of frolicking through the park and that not being like Chief, and at that point, I was like, yeah, you're right, Parangoski. There's also a bit where Marquis is explaining the Great Journey to Chief, and she says, like, once the Halos have been used to begin the Great Journey, then the Great Journey is to the Sacred Ring, which obviously it's not. It's into the Divine Beyond to become gods like the Forerunners did, or like the Covenant thought the Forerunners did. Unless I misheard that, it made it sound like Marquis was saying that the Great Journey takes you to the Halos even after you've used them to begin it, which was a bit strange, but maybe I misheard that. There was one scene in this episode that I did really like, actually, where we got a shot of the planet Criterion that had just been glassed, and we were hearing reports from the UNSC that were in the area that got to see it and that were doing like damage reports on it. And not only did the glass city on this planet look really, really good, the CGI was fantastic for it, but also at the same time, I think the entire framing of the scene was really good as well. It really kind of depicted the horror and terror of a glassing really well. Like, everyone in the room was like genuinely like upset, because obviously the loss of life with glassing, especially of a major city, is absurd. And obviously some people are like, we need to go and save the civilians there, save the people that are stranded in the city. But I think it was Parangoski's like, we can't afford to do that. We don't have the manpower to do that with the Covenant moving ever faster through human space, which I really liked. This scene was really good. Yeah, it did a great job of depicting a glassing from like a second-hand perspective really well. I will say though, in the show, Parangoski does feel a little bit like a pushover. Like, she gives in to people's demands quite easily, and at least in this episode she has done, which I thought was a bit out of character for her, because to be honest, in this show so far, Parangoski's been pretty good. She's been pretty on brand with her regular canon Parangoski, but I don't know, she felt like a bit of a pushover this episode. But then we get to easily the highlight of this episode. The bit of this episode that everyone is going to be talking about for days to come. The Master Chief and Marquis sex scene. know what? I'm just going to let my reactions to this part of the episode play because I think my reactions will do, quite frankly, a much better job at giving my thoughts on this scene than anything that I can come up with right now. Wait. No. Wait a second. Don't do it. No. No. No! Oh my god, they fucking did it! Oh my god, they actually did it. Oh no, hang on, wait, what? What am I watching, dude? Oh my god, the intimacy coordinator, that's what it was for! Oh my lord. Have I got... Oh, I don't have enough coffee left. Jesus Christ, I need a gallon for this. Oh my god, this is what the intimacy coordinator was for. What is this? Get Neil Blomkamp on the job. Go and get Peter Jackson back on the job. I think I made a joke about this happening like 6 episodes ago. And it was very much a, oh, that's never going to happen, but wouldn't it be funny? Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Oh, yep, they had sex, yep. Well, what, this is like genuinely worse than the worst fan fiction. This is, I just can't. Where's Sergeant Johnson? Where are the ODSTs? Where's hot dropping onto a Halo ring or the Fall of Reach? Please say we at least get the Fall of Reach at some point. Save us from this, I'm begging you. Please, right, I'm begging you. Phil Vadamy, if you are out there in this timeline or whatever, please come and just glass Reach. Have it over and done with. Get it all over and done with. Glass the planet. Win. Don't let the Pillar of Autumn take off. Don't let it take off this time, right? You choked on that in the regular timeline. Don't choke on it in this timeline. Glass the planet and have it be done. Oh my lord. I swear to God, we've seen Chief naked and or semi-naked legitimately more in this show than we've seen him in his armor. I'm just... So yeah, that was that happened in the Halo TV show. Still not sure this is actually a Halo show. Almost certain that they kind of got the branding wrong and it's meant to be under the IP, but it happened. Anyways, moving on, it seems as though they're doing a kind of like Halsey Spartanox story arc in this show where she goes rogue, but only for her own purposes. She doesn't actually like go fully rogue. She does it purely for her selfish purposes, with her and Aiden and Cortana getting on this ship and going to leave to go and get the artifact with Chief and Marquis. Obviously, it doesn't go well. But I did appreciate how they tried to integrate that story arc from Spartanops into the show. And as a part of this story arc, what Halsey was doing with Silver Team actually kind of saved the episode for me, to be quite honest with you. Silver Team continued to be the highlight of this overall show completely. At least Vanak and Riz are. I really like those two because they're like actual Spartan 2s, right? Kai's pretty cool as well, but Vanak and Riz I really like a lot. So she basically gets them to follow her orders alone, ignore the UNSC, and just come with her on the ship to go and get the other artifact. However, it doesn't all go as planned because Kai obviously took that pellet out of her back, so she's a lot more disobedient now, whereas Riz and Vanak are still very obedient, and they basically have to suppress her and also Chief, but it doesn't go as planned and they end up getting in a fight scene. Vanak is basically Fred, and Riz is basically Kelly. I feel like Fred and Kelly in full Mjolnir would destroy Chief in just his undersuit in any typical scenario. But either way, we got this fight scene that was pretty enjoyable, I'll be honest with you. And then Kai comes in and she starts fighting Riz and Vanak on Chief's side, and then they all get in like a Mexican standoff, and then, of course, Marquis touches the artifact, blows them all away, and I think that was the last we saw them in the episode. I don't know where that's going to go from there, because half of Silver Team are against Halsey, and half of them are on her side, so I don't really know where that's going to go from here. I just know that Vanak and Riz are great. And also, again, I gotta say it, the armors are fantastic for Silver Team. I love their Mjolnir design so much. It's just a shame that this story arc, that I actually think is pretty cool, has been saved for the complete final hour of the first season. Maybe it'll feed more into season 2, which we are getting. Maybe it will do, but kind of wish this had been like a prevailing thing throughout the entire season, with Silver Team constantly being told to do Halsey's bidding and going against the UNSC and even to a degree Chief, because that could have been a really interesting plot point to carry through the entire season, but instead they've kind of just done nothing for most of it. And the last thing I want to say is that I think Cortana, the actual VFX for Cortana, look really, really good now. In this episode in particular, Cortana looked fantastic. Of course, her performance by Jen Taylor was absolutely stellar, as per usual. Jen Taylor never misses. Her performances are fantastic. But the actual VFX for Cortana now has improved quite a lot. I think partly it's because she's now a lot smaller. She's in kind of game Cortana size, where she's probably that tall, not 6'5", which she has been a few times in the show. But yeah, the VFX for her now looks really, really good. Oh yeah, and also I forgot about this. Miranda realizes that Marquis was actually the one that invaded the UNSC Gladius. She's the one that was speaking Sangheili, and that she's actually evil. And she touches the artifact at the end, and her and Chief are on the Halo. Just, that's it then. That's the end of the episode. I don't know, man. What is this? I don't know, dude. Just go and watch Landfall. Just watch Landfall. Watch We Are ODST. Watch Deliver Hope. Watch Scanned. Watch Hunt the Truth. I don't know what we're watching at this point. I really don't know. This... Was it really that hard to adapt Fall of Reach, or First Strike, or The Flood, or Halo 1, or Halo 2, or Halo 3, or ODST, or Halo 4, or have a completely new story about ODSTs, or Spartan 2s, or Spartan 3s, or hell, Orion candidates? Was it hard to have a buddy-buddy show with Chief and Johnson going around the universe together? I don't know. This is just... This is not what I thought the show was going to be at all. I really thought with Chief they were going to go in a Mando Din kind of way and have him be this quiet, reserved, but ultimately quite deep character. And instead it is just, I swear to God, we've seen Chief with either no clothes on or just his undersuit on so much more than when he's in his armor. It's actually a nice rare occasion now when we see him in his armor. And again, I'm going to say this for the 1000th time. I say that as somebody who was perfectly fine with him taking his helmet off. Some people didn't like the idea of that. I didn't mind it at all. I was fine with it. But I don't know. I'm at the point now where I am pretty much just forcing myself to watch this show so I can make these videos. I don't really want to watch it, but I'm watching it to make these videos and give my thoughts, because there's definitely some stuff in here that I enjoy. Like I said, Silver Team stuff, pretty good. The Halsey and Silver Team stuff as well, that story arc with her going kind of rogue, also pretty cool. I like that. But I just, yeah, that's my thoughts. That's probably messy as hell. As you can probably tell by my eyes and my face, I've been awake for an hour. I woke up and within 15 minutes just started watching this show. Yeah, I'm gonna go and get back to work on my Metal Gear Rising video coming out hopefully this weekend, because that's a lot more fun than talking about this show, I'll be honest. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I really want to hear them this time, especially. Let me hear them down below in the comments. And yeah, stay tuned for the Metal Gear Rising video this weekend. It's going to be a good one. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.